Are you from here?
Just visiting. It's my last night actually.
That's so many moments.
एक रात में पूरी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं.
Try करते हैं.
हर पल जी ले तू अभी, हर लम्हा है जिंदगी.
Magic in your eyes, there's magic in the air.
तो कैसी रही जिंदगी?
Every moment was magic. There's magic.
Make every moment a magic moment.
My journey of insurance and investments began at the same time when I invested in LIC SEEP. In this fast-moving world, SEEP can balance your funds with security and growth. SEEP will take care of the ups and downs of the market and will give you fruitful results so that you enjoy the ride. And when SEEP is with you, you can soar high.
LIC's unit-linked insurance plan SEEP offers savings and protection so that you can soar high in your life. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
And this is a blue-eyed boy you're perhaps waiting for. So my colleagues and I, Nabila and Nandini and me, decided to catch up with somebody very interesting. It's our final session today. We have actor Arjun Kapoor on completing a decade in films and teach you about body positivity. Hello and welcome. I'm Chaiti Narula. We're being joined by Arjun Kapoor today. Inspirational, he's hilarious with a no-holds-barred sense of humor, a doer. He's a go-getter and a total achiever. His personal journey is really an inspiration for people across all age groups all over the world, not just in India. Someone who's battled body shaming and now propagates body positivity. His tips, his tricks, and the way he conducts his life are a lesson for the youth of the country. Let's welcome the super talented icon for the youth, Arjun Kapoor. Arjun, welcome so much to Mind Rocks. Thank you for taking time out and joining us.
It's one of the nicest introductions
Can we
I've
whistle?
heard for myself.
You can whistle.
No, you can.
Nabila wants to whistle.
Look how hot you're looking.
Thank you.
Okay, also joining us are Nandini Bhalla, editor Cosmopolitan and digital editor Harper's Bazaar, and also my colleague Nabila, who's already whistled for you, Arjun.
Thank you, Nabila. And Nandini and me recently had a very heartfelt conversation because I was on the cover of one of her magazines. So it feels like I'm in good company today. And with your introduction, I think I want to screen grab this and keep. I'm the ladies' man again. I'm really happy.
Absolutely you are. Absolutely you are. So Arjun, you've just completed 10 years in the film industry. What have been some of the greatest takeaways from the decade for you?
Well, as a thespian now that I can officially call myself that. What's my greatest takeaway? Yeah, just suno sabki karo apni. That's always been my motto, and that seems to be more and more relevant even today.
You've become fitter. This is a journey, and I know that you've been through this journey over the years, and you've evolved in how. I'd like to hear about this journey from you. Speaking of body positivity,
Actually, all of us want to, because we
yeah,
all
I mean,
could do with
we're all
shedding
in
a
the
little bit
running,
of
right?
weight, yeah.
Constantly trying to
constantly struggling with
keep
it.
our weight in check.
Well, all three of you beautiful ladies look way, way better than me, and all you three are having a better hair day than I ever can.
Please,
But,
your hair is what made me whistle.
no, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't my smile. It wasn't my face. It wasn't just me.
Well, okay, it's a package, all
तो
right.
मेरा जो wig है ना, मैं आपको निकाल के भेज दूँ.
That we know your hair, it comes in your DNA.
Okay, no,
Anil
tell us,
Kapoor ka
tell
bhatija
us your
ho.
journey about this whole losing weight
Yeah,
and becoming
so-
fit, because I think all of us somewhere want to hear it, because we want to definitely embrace it as a part of our lifestyle.
So I'll tell you what, I've done it once before, right? I lost 45, 50 kgs before I started Ishaqzade. I took me 4 years, and I was very perseverant and diligent then, and I was patient. And then obviously over a course of my career, I was looking good, I was doing well, and then there was a point where my health issues caught up with me, and obviously life catches up with you. You're running, वो hamster होता है ना जो भागता रहता है, you don't know where you're going, you're on a treadmill. And I just kept going, and you don't realize how much you've tortured yourself. Some people are capable of sprinting, some are people who prefer walking, and I kind of got caught up trying to sprint when I maybe am better at walking, which is what had made me successfully tackle my obesity. So now when the lockdown happened, I realized, yeah, I need to do what's right for me rather than follow the fad.
Eventually, you need some kind of motivation. Was there anybody, anything that really
No,
motivated you?
my profession was always my motivation, and I know what you're trying to hint towards. And that always helps when you have people around you. When you have the right people around you, they inspire you in the right ways. But eventually, how much can he or she inspire you? They can talk to you, they can communicate with you, but उठ के तो हमें ही जाना पड़ता है.
I'll be taking you back to your teenage years. Tell me, when you were growing up, were you ever bullied? Did you ever feel conscious? Did you like some girls in the class who were not really looking at you? You know, what was that like? Because, you know, kids can be very, very conscious of how they look.
Yeah.
You have crushes and you like someone. And did you ever feel really bad? Were you ever told anything that kind of made you feel bad?
So, okay, I remember being very okay with my size. I never quite had any issue with it myself. You know, I was not one of those that was so conscious. I was fine because I used to just embrace how I was. How I reached there was literally over one summer. I used to never be a fat kid. I had chubby cheeks, which I still do when I smile. But I was
And
a
that's
nice.
very cute.
Thank you, but I was a chubby cheeks wala kid. I was never a fat kid. And then one summer, obviously my parents separating and issues going on, and I took solace in food. And long story short, that kind of led me to changing the way I was living my life, and food gave me solace. So I became okay with the way I looked because that was what my way of hiding and eating and enjoying and trying to find some happiness in life while there was a lot of sadness around me. So I never felt that anybody could bully me because, so this, what you guys call sense of humor, was actually self-defense, because before anybody can take me on, I always had the wit and the gift of the gab to kind of always have something ready to give back. And also, I mean, I had my own sisters in school, so I became everybody's brother. You know, I had Sonam and Riya, and also I was always the protective kind of guy, which seems to follow me around now also.
Was every girl coming and tying you a Rakhi? What was that?
Well, I was a pretty safe guy to tie Rakhi to at that point.
No, but you know, Arjun, I'm glad you mentioned this angle, and I'm sure glad that Nandini brought this in, because you know, this is at the end of the day a lot of youth watching in and gaining inspiration from you today, Arjun. And you speaking these words really goes a long way in really helping them cope with the societal predispositions that we have around us. So if you could just give tips to the youth of the country today on how to deal, there's many others who are dealing with body shaming. They need to be encouraged into embracing their bodies and encourage body positivity. What would you like to tell them today, Arjun?
So I think the problem is, you know, being fit is equated to being thin.
Yeah.
You have to look a certain way to be perceived to be fit. India as a society has issues with color, size, structure. So, like, for example, in my own case, I'm broad built and I'm proud of it. And I have legs which are, say, European, American sized legs. I'm a big structured guy. No other guy in my generation, in my age group, acting with me has the kind of structure I do. So I embrace it positively, saying I'm unique, I'm different, and I'm special. But that does not mean I should be unfit. I should still take care of myself. And today's society has to realize and understand that you cannot put other people down. You have to educate them, make them understand that, boss, you are okay the way you are.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that you can go into a dark hole. You might be slightly overweight. So then try and work towards bettering yourself. Because what is thin?
Yeah.
Thin does not mean that you're fit. I've seen thin people who can barely even walk without getting tired.
No, but doesn't social media really drive you crazy? You have all kinds of perfect figures, bodies.
Of course it does.
And that's also impacting your generation next.
Of course, and that is where somebody like me gets trolled for not being up to society standards, because society has a set of standards created by imagery created over the last 10 years of social media becoming relevant.
Yeah.
Abs in India is so important that when I showed my abs in my first film, I was considered a very thin, young, fit guy. I was 95 kgs in that film.
Bone weight.
No, but and 95 kgs is a lot of weight to carry.
Yeah.
I have never needed to be under 92 kgs. I was 92 kgs in Gunde. But people look at the scale and say, "Arey, isko to 75, 80 hona chahiye. Ye kaise galat weight hai?" But aap equate karte ho abs. Abs nahi hai to ye banda fit nahi hai. I have lost the most amount of weight walking.
Brilliant.
but nobody will speak to people about being active walking.
Yeah. Is Bollywood really open to, to people of all sizes? We're seeing some of the films coming forward with women there of all sizes. About the men,
That's a pretty good question. I would like to be honest here and say, we do create stereotypes and we take too long to break them. So I don't think we, at a cinematic level, are breaking the stereotypes. I think we are only underlining and reiterating them. And part of the problem is that we were so blindsided in the last 10 years that we didn't realize the repercussion till now.
Yeah.
The last 10 years was celebrating the fact that we've got internet. So if you have it, flaunt it. Now we flaunt it so much that there's excess. And you kind of realize that is not real. So you need to, now people want real stories, real characters. But we are so used to shoving excess down your throat that we also are now taking a backseat and saying, "Acha yaar, all guys don't need to be like that."
Correct.
And I'm part of the problem and the solution.
Yeah, I think he looks absolutely fabulous, and that hair really has to be a name.
Striking.
What are you going to be naming that hair? I think it deserves its own name.
My mane.
Nice one. Nice one.
Are you from here?
Just visiting. It's my last night actually.
That's so many moments.
एक रात में पूरी जिंदगी जी सकते हैं.
Try करते हैं.
हर पल जी ले तू अभी, हर लम्हा है जिंदगी.
Magic in your eyes. There's magic in the air.
तो कैसी रही जिंदगी?
Every moment was magic. There's magic
Make
in
every moment a magic moment.
मुझे जॉब छोड़ा फिर भी सो कूल.
ब्रो, नए चैलेंजेस नए मौके लाते हैं.
अच्छा.
सीरियसली राहुल, मेरा पूरा घर नाउ इट्स एन ऑनलाइन रिटेल स्टोर. देख.
वाओ. लेकिन पैसे?
कुछ साल पहले दिवाली बोनस को इन्वेस्ट किया था.
और अब तो है LIC का यूलिप प्लान निवेश प्लस. एक बार इन्वेस्ट करो, इंश्योरेंस से सुरक्षा का लाभ और मार्केट की बढ़त का फायदा दोनों पाओ.
वन सेक राहुल.
मैडम, यू आर डबल कूल.
I'll be going back to the topic of films. Over the last 10 years, what do you think you've done right, wrong?
Talking retrospectively is always easy, Nandini. I think I've done a few right films and I've done a few wrong films. I think that's pretty simple.
That you may have learned along the way to say, you know what, that was something that I shouldn't have done, or I'm glad that I've learned now that this is the way to do things.
I took on too much work to run away from my personal issues of losing my mother, and somewhere that helped. I've done 16 films. I'm on my 16th film right now in the last 9 years, 10 years. I've done a lot of work, but I didn't take out enough time for myself, as in terms of my own mental health and physical health, and my own wholesome health. So, if there's something that I've learned out of it, going ahead, I would like to change that. I think the best part is that I've been able to make a career for myself and be independent financially. I come from a very good family. I am privileged. I am somebody who's been well taken care of. I've had my own struggle and journey, which can't be compared because to each their own.
The pandemic has taught us that everybody can go through stress, anxiety, loneliness and whatnot. So what would you like to tell people today when it comes to taking care of their mental health? Because I guess somewhere that also has a huge impact on your physical health.
Yeah, of course. It has all the impact. If you're not going to be okay up here, it's not going to translate down there. So by all accounts, that makes complete sense. See, the reality is that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Every person has moments and beats in their lives, in their life, where they go through a lot, and it might retrospectively hit you. So when the lockdown did happen, I was emotionally broken because a lot of things hit me. That was the first time I was able to pause and reflect. And I had a partner I could rely on. I had a sister I could rely on. I had enough support system within the house. Even if I had to break down, and emotionally breaking down for a man is perceived to be to mardo. How can you showcase emotion?
Well, I'm so
It is
glad you actually
important.
said that.
It's a sign of strength,
Yeah,
not
it is.
Yeah, it is
But
a sign of
it's-
strength.
Yeah, so I feel letting go, letting it out, talking about it. Sometimes you have to just let go. You know, it's very difficult, and I see. I cannot give it. I would like to say it and underline it that mental health is a real problem. If it means meditating, if it means going the distance to feel secure enough that you can share your deep dark inner secrets and fears with a therapist,
Yeah.
it is allowed. That is not something that makes you weaker. It is something that will eventually make you fly.
If you could go back in like time, okay, and you could go back, what would you tell your younger self? What kind of advice would you give to your younger self?
Smile more. And also, I was very sarcastic earlier, which I realized a lot of people don't get. You know, deadpan sarcasm.
Yeah.
So I realized that I can do that with you off camera and you would get it, but on camera, which I realized very early. I mean, just because I didn't come all happy and yay, and I would then I promoted with Ranveer, and I realized Ranveer is only that. So Ranveer is just like. So he told me something really fun. He said, "Yeah, no, people don't know your personality. You have to put yourself out there and make people realize it." I said, "Yeah, fair enough, man. I never thought that I have to. I'm meeting you for the first time. You're going to take back what you're going to take back, right? But I never thought of it as my responsibility to the media that I need to put myself out there in a certain way to soften myself so you can see into me. I always had to keep my guard up because I was like, they'll ask me a question or they'll do something. It was very.
I get it. All right, now to the fun stuff. I think Nandini would be best to give you a small rapid fire quizzer. Nandini, go into it.
All right. Arjun, who was your very first crush?
He's just like, he's thinking. You can't think.
My first crush, like you're saying an actor or you're saying in school.
Crush,
बेचारी
yeah.
उसकी तो शादी हो गई. जो स्कूल में थी उसकी बेचारी की शादी हो गई. अब क्या बोलूं?
अरे एक लड़की को देखा पसंद आ गई वैसे क्रश.
हाँ स्कूल में थी वो. There was a girl called Seema and there was another girl called Nandini. I just took a chance and crushed on both of them at the same time. पर दोनों ने हाँ नहीं बोला था like.
I hope they are hearing today and they'll be regretting it कि हाँ नहीं बोला उस वक्त.
इतना लंबा.
Sorry?
No, I said if they're regretting it today, I would say इतना लंबा relationship कहाँ निभा पाता था बेचारा. They're better off with whoever they are.
What is the ultimate secret to getting over a breakup?
As
take a deep breath.
I don't know. I think just you have to go through the process. There is no ultimate secret. You just have to accept that there is a process, and perhaps indulging yourself with work. Work can be quite therapeutic. At least I have noticed. But don't hide behind it. Use it to feel better about yourself. But no, yeah, there's no quick fix for a breakup. If you genuinely love someone, then you're going to feel the emotion and feel it. It's okay.
True.
Listen to those sad songs. Eat that tub of ice cream. Then go work out the next day. don't let it sit.
He's like, there's a clause there. Go work out the next day.
Yeah. If your body type is like,
What is the last lie that you told?
छोटे-छोटे lies होते हैं कभी-कभी दिन में. I think जैसे when I'm feeling lazy, sometimes I'll cancel the meeting saying, "Can we do it tomorrow? I'm a bit caught up." That's perhaps.
But you're sitting and watching Netflix at home.
Yeah. Perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying yeah.
Over to the rest of you.
So I want to ask.
Actually, I would just be sleeping late. That's the thing. I always try and schedule things in the morning. And then क्या होता है ना, मैं मॉर्निंग उठने का आजकल शूटिंग थोड़ी कम हो रही है और पैंडेमिक चल रहा था तो अभी आदत हो गई थोड़ा आराम से उठो.
No, but are you really a late riser?
I sleep late and I rise whenever I feel like. तो मैं अपनी मर्जी का मालिक हूँ उठने के चक्कर में. तो मैं फिर वो रात को 12-1 बजे कई बार मैसेज कर दूंगा, अरे यार मेरा कुछ काम निकला है या मेरा ये है या मेरा वो है. My trainers now caught me out on it when I keep telling him, let's train at 8 o'clock. He's like, you're not going to wake up, so I'm just going to come at 11. It's better. I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense. So,
Yeah.
तो काफी बार इन चीजों में मैं झूठ बोलता हूँ.
So Nabs and I have come up with a very quick rapid fire question for you as well. Now that Nandini is done with her question, my first question is Bollywood films or Hollywood films for you? What do you like?
Bollywood, yeah, Bollywood. I mean, I love Hollywood, but Bollywood के बिना there is nothing.
Nabila?
I don't know, food maybe. Food, घर का खाना, or for you fine dining? What's your preference?
घर का खाना.
Cupcakes or sugar-free dessert?
These days, neither.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so shirtless on a treadmill or shirtless doing dumbbells?
Shirtless regardless.
Shirtless is how I roam around. If this was not on, I sit around my house shirtless only most of the time. So shirtless regardless.
So who's the last person you stalked on Instagram, Arjun?
Well, let me check.
Oh, you're actually checking?
Yeah.
So do you actually overindulge in social media?
Let him check.
I checked Tara's account. Tara Sutaria. Because she had posted something.
Tara
So,
Sutaria.
that's
He's
the
the last
last
person you stalked on Instagram.
She's my co-star and villain. Yeah.
Nice. So
And one food that Arjun can't live without?
अरे यार food तो अर्जुन can't live out. One का क्या है but अभी यार food का I don't know, it's reached a point where मुझे carbs से emotionally प्यार एक वो dependency हो गई थी तो मैंने काफी कम कर दिया but I still feel these days I've been craving having a pizza. I think that is a pretty wholesome meal, So it's not that I love pizzas, but these days it's like, is it hormonal to crave a certain kind of food? I don't know.
It is. I'm telling you it is.
So I think I'm craving pizza for the last few days.
Okay, what good news, whether it is personal or outside, made you feel happy or healed or hopeful?
I mean, has there been a lot of good news in the last few years? I don't know.
Maybe the Olympics.
So like when you see people cheering our athletes, the good news gives me hope that now these athletes will be backed. Even 4 years from now, 3 years from now, we won't be hearing about unfortunate stories of them not having the ability to train and prepare. So I saw something really nice which Sunil Shetty posted. That today we are celebrating. The whole country celebrated the victory. But there's nobody to check on them for the 3 years that they've taken to prepare for it. So Olympics gives me hope, but it gives me hope that there will be a change with it. It makes me really happy.
Great. Thank you so much, Arjun Kapoor, for taking the time out and joining us. We're indeed really privileged ladies, three of us here, to have spoken to you today. We had a great time.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of Nandini, Nabila, me, Chetty, and the entire India Today group, we can't thank you enough to take the time out. And what lovely, inspirational takeaways we've got from your interview today. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to be here and talk about all that we spoke about, but I'm just feeling bad that we didn't get to sit personally and talk. So next time, hopefully, we'll be able to share a platform
on the other side of the pandemic. Let's make this promise.
Yes.
We shall.
Yes.
Thank
you.
For sure. That's all we have in store for you today. Catch us again tomorrow, same time, same place for another power-packed day of India Today eMind Rocks. We'd once again like to thank our presenting sponsor, Jain University, associate sponsor, Magic Moments Music Studio. Make every moment a magic moment. Insurance partner, LIC of India.